And whilst we are a little way into the season, I think it is still worth us going over some of the changes that have come in for the season 21-22. Now, I'm not going to run through them all. There is, of course, a detailed presentation on the IFAB site. But the first bit is a clarity around where the arm ends, specifically in terms of onside and offside. Now, maybe this is in referee speak for those at the very elite end of the game, where we're looking on cameras and we really are able to get to minute details, because I'm sure when we're refereeing grassroots football, it may be challenging to determine, but it's important to know where the arm ends in terms of offside. Some real clarity now around Law 12 and specifically handball. That first line that you can see on screen is really important, and actually as a fellow referee, it's something that we should all have in our armoury, that not every contact of the ball with the hand or arm is handball, because as we know, players, managers, coaches, spectators will appeal for handball. The moment the ball hits an arm, it must be a penalty, it must be a free kick, whatever it may be. But not every contact of the ball with the hand or arm is an offence, and that's important to remember. And what we have to do is to judge the player's body in relation to that movement. So really, we've got two questions to ask ourselves. One, is the hand or arm in a natural position? Is it in the running motion? Is it jumping? Is it sliding that arm that's protecting the body between themselves and the ground? And the second question is then, have they then made themselves unnaturally bigger? So has someone moved their arm out to try and block a shot, etc., etc.? We answer those two questions and we have the answer to handball, which from a referee's point of view makes it as simple as I think it might ever be for us in the way of current football. And of course, the removal of accidental attacking handball in terms of creating goals and opportunities. Of course, we can't still score a goal with our arm. I think that feels right. There was a goal disallowed in the Champions League last night for it. But in terms of accidental, I think we saw a few at the start of last season that maybe football didn't quite feel were in the spirit of the game. And final bit really is around that trick. So those of you that are fans of Italian football will remember, I think it's Fiorentina, the goalkeeper would flick the ball up to a defender who'd head it back, catch it, and they'd go and play. That is, of course, a trick to circumvent the laws of the game. So in that instance, the instigator is to be cautioned. And when people ask that question, for me, the instigator will nearly always be the goalkeeper. They're the one that flicks it up. And also, as a referee protecting yourself, the goalkeeper is also less likely to be second caution. So do we want to be sending people off on a technicality? Some people may not. So think about that. But the instigator, for me, is always going to be the goalkeeper. And final bit, just in case any dogs or fans run onto the field of play, free kicks and penalty kicks can only be awarded for offences against someone on the team list or a match official. So if we get a spectator on the field of play and let's say the goalkeeper whacks them one on the back of the head, still a red card for violent conduct, but the restart is as it would have been. It's not a free kick or a penalty kick. As I alluded to, look, always worth keeping on top of the law changes. The IFAB website, the IFAB app on your phones and your tablets, make sure that it's updated, make sure we're reading 21-22 laws, not 2021, but always worth us being on top of the laws of the game, because as we know, when something happens on a match day, when we're potentially with friends, with family, watching football, everyone turns to you as the referee. Well, what do you think, ref? What are we going to do now? So always worth us being on top of it.